A few weeks ago, on my podcast that I do of Jim Gleason, we talked about concept albums, and and just we looked at a variety of concept albums and ones that we've had, and I was surprised how many concept albums I had. I was kind of shocked. I didn't really think I would have had that many. Once I began to start digging, go, holy smokes, there's quite a few of them. Well, then the other day I saw Ken Morgan out of Australia. On his video, he was going through favorite concept albums in the 1970s. I thought, why don't I just do a video of five great concept albums? And if you want to do one, go ahead and do one too, and show your concept albums, because there's a lot of them out there, and they've gone throughout history. They're in every genre. You can find concept albums. And so I'm going to bounce it around a little bit here just for fun. The first one's a well-known concept album, okay? And it is the Alan Parsons project, I, Robot. And this came out in 1977. And the whole thing is based upon the book by Isaac Asimov, I, Robot, which I remember reading in high school, really enjoying it. I mean, I was reading a lot of science fiction in high school, and I, Robot was a big one. And so, the whole thing about the book and about this, it's about artificial intelligence. And will artificial intelligence overturn man, and or will robots be responsible to their creators? Kind of, that's how it looks at it. So think about it. Alan Parsons, 1977. Well, actually, Isaac Asimov, I, Robot, and it's all happening right now. Kind of scary, isn't it? But Alan Parsons sang about it, 1977, his concept album. Favorite concept album of all time, and one of my all-time favorite albums, is this one here, and it's Songs for Drella by Andy Warhol and John Cale. And the whole concept is about the life of Andy Warhol. And they do a spectacular job of really discussing and singing about Warhol. Just those two, guitar and piano, viola. But it's an honest and poignant portrait of Andy Warhol. It's not just about this, oh, he was so wonderful. No, they go into everything with this. And it's a real nice minimalist type tribute. Just beautiful narration of it. And so what a wonderful concept album this is. Lou Reed and John Cale. One of my all-time favorite albums. Songs for Drella. A fun concept album. Concept albums don't have to be all serious. They could be fun too. Why not have some fun? Funkadelic versus the Placebo Syndrome. This came out in 1977. Not only did we have iRobot, but we had Parliament coming out with their concept album. And this was an important concept because what it did is it looked at the battle that was going on between the true soulful essence of funk and the commercialized, watered-down versions that were coming out. So you had Star Child that was there for true funk, but then Sir No's devoid of funk, who dealt with that commercialized, watered-down stuff. And as Sir No's devoid of funk would say, I will never dance, I will never dance. But he got hit by the bop gun. And with the bop gun, suddenly, well, he began taking off his clothes and began to dance. So, concept album. Now, about a wilder concept albums, because a lot of times they deal with science fiction, things like that. Well, this was a good one then. Gerardo, Manuel, and El Humo. And this is Machu Picchu 2000. A fascinating concept album about in the year 2000. The Inca civilization will come back alive. And they're going to come back big time, baby, in the year 2000, probably kill a bunch of people and start taking over all their lands and once again ruling in the year 2000. That would be 25 years ago. Okay, so maybe this one. iRobot did pretty good in coming true. Machu Picchu 2000 did not, but it's an interesting concept album by Herbie Manuel and hmmmm. Jazz has concept albums. And, oftentimes we think you gotta have talking and that, but no, a concept album is also a theme, following a theme and sticking with a theme. That's a concept. And so this is one, Herbie Hancock's Maiden Voyage. The theme on this is nautical. You have Dolphin Dance, Survival of the Fittest, The Eye of the Hurricane, The Maiden Voyage. It follows a nautical theme. Beautiful album, absolutely gorgeous. Came out in the very early 60s by a very, very young, I don't know, he might still been a teenager when he did this. I can't quite remember. But incredibly gorgeous album. The concept, the being in the water, Herbie Hancock. Wonderful stuff, Maiden Voyage. So there's 5. But I'm going to do one more just because, again, concepts are all over the place. And where were the first concept albums? It came out of classical music. Just think about classical music. The whole thing was oftentimes telling a story. That's what the whole thing was about. These symphonies were maybe about a fairy tale or something. And here's one of the most famous one out of Norway, Grieg, and maybe it's not the most famous, Grieg, Peer Gynt. And I'm just going to read through what this is about here. It's a large-scale dramatic study of the rise and fall of second-rate nature. Who wants second-rate nature, really? Told partly in poetic and partly in satirical terms. Peer Gynt was a peasant, irresponsible, selfish, crude, and wild. Over the years, he had left his native land, and he prospered in evil ventures, only to return home, narrowly escaping death by drowning when his ship approached the coast, and to find that he, who had dreamed of becoming emperor of the world, was but an inferior being. Oh, sad. But it was the concept. That's what this is built about. That story. I believe it's a Norwegian story. It's all built upon that, the concept. And classical music is packed with concept albums. Or whether it be just purely music, which is based upon that theme. I could think Beethoven's Sixth Pastoral is a great one. But this is a wonderful one. I grew up with this. It's one of my dad's favorite albums that he played a lot. Peer Gynt. And yeah, from Grieg. Awesome stuff. So, there are some concepts. Wow, what a concept, isn't it? But there is so many more. I mean, I got a whole stack here that I could go through, and maybe I'll still show some more of those. But if you think of some concept albums that you like, share them. Why not? They're very, very interesting. So 5, but there is 1 extra because I don't count worth of crap. Thanks, everyone. Have yourself a great rest of the week. Got a pretty cool record store visit coming up later on this week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.